Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to talk about a huge shift in aviation. And look, it's about way more than just ditching paper records. We're talking about making aircraft that are smarter, safer, and can practically tell us their own future. Okay, let's dive right in.
For the longest time, it really felt like the biggest win in aviation was just going paperless. The main goal was to get away from those giant, clunky binders full of paperwork that had to be physically moved and stored and sorted through. Now, don't get me wrong, that was a super important first step for sure. But scanning a bunch of documents and creating digital files, that wasn't the real game changer that everyone in the industry was actually waiting for. It was just setting the stage for what was to come. So let's start with where we've been. Let's talk about the era of e-records. This was that first essential phase that basically dragged aircraft maintenance kicking and screaming into the digital age.
And the industry actually did it. They moved the whole shebang, maintenance logs, those all-important signatures, entire aircraft histories, all into a digital format. And just like that, info that was once locked away in a filing cabinet was suddenly available from anywhere. I mean, that's a huge step forward.
But here's the thing. At the end of the day, these systems were really just digital filing cabinets. Yeah, they were a massive improvement, no doubt about it, but they still only gave you a passive, backward-looking view of an aircraft's life. You could see what happened yesterday, but you couldn't really see what was coming tomorrow.
So, if e-records were just step one, then what's the giant leap forward? Well, this is where things get really interesting. A new concept is coming into play called digital airworthiness. And this isn't about storing data, it's about making data come alive.
And right here, this is the core of it. Check out that key phrase in the definition, a living system. We're not talking about static files you pull out for an audit once a year. No, we're talking about a system that is always on, always analyzing, and always aware of the plane's exact condition, right now.
In this slide, it just nails the difference, right? On one hand, you've got digitized documents, which are kind of like a photo album of the aircraft's past. On the other, you have a living system. It's more like a live dashboard of its present condition that's even helping you predict its future.
So really, what this all boils down to is a totally different question. The focus is shifting. It's not about, hey, do we have the records anymore? It's not just checking a box. The new question is, do we actually understand what this data is telling us at this very second? Okay, so that's the what. Let's get into the how, because this is where it gets really cool. This whole new approach is basically built on three powerful technological pillars, all working together. First up, we've got something called digital twins. So imagine a perfect one-to-one virtual copy of a real physical airplane, and every single bit of data from a flight, engine temps, turbulence, you name it, gets fed into this digital model in real time. So the virtual twin always, and I mean always, mirrors the exact condition of the real plane. Okay, so you've got this perfect digital copy. What's next? Well, you layer on some serious AI. These artificial intelligence models are constantly crunching all that data from the digital twin to predict when a specific part, say a turbine blade, is going to need maintenance, long before it shows any sign of a problem. It's like having a crystal ball for every component on the plane.
And the third piece of this puzzle is what we call self-auditing compliance. Basically, the system is its own auditor, checking the aircraft's status against all those complex aviation rules 24/7. This means the plane is always verified as compliant, not just on the one day an inspector shows up. And for efficiency and preventing downtime, that is a huge, huge deal. So, when you put all of that together, what do you get? Well, it's not just a small improvement. It's a complete rewrite of how we approach aviation safety. We're moving from a culture of reacting to problems to a culture of predicting them. This right here, this is what the future of airworthiness really looks like. It's not about looking backwards anymore, trying to fix things that have already gone wrong. It's all about looking forward, using connected, intelligent data to stop problems before they can even happen. And that leaves us with a pretty powerful thought, doesn't it? Once an aircraft can actually predict its own needs and pretty much guarantee its own safety, how can we possibly justify flying any other way? The future of flight isn't just about being digital, it's about being intelligent.